What is up guys, this is Tito back with another video on the Redmi K20 Pro, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you the latest EvolutionX ROM based on Android 12. And finally this is the second build of the Android 12, and yes, I was on the 4th November 2021 build and there was a couple of bugs. So yes, I have been waiting for this particular update, and right now today is 7th November and today I got this particular update and I have been pretty much enjoying this ROM. So first things first, let me show you the about section. Finally, we have the EvolutionX logo up there in the Android version section, and that looks beautiful. Of course, we have the Android version as the Android 12, and we have the EvolutionX version as the Snow 6.0 for Rafale. And if you are looking at the build date here, it shows as 6th November 2021 official build. If you keep tapping on it, it shows you that EvolutionX's logo like this. So yeah, this is a cool Easter egg too. And the security patch here is latest of November 5th, 2021. So that is just amazing. And we have the stock kernel as the perf-g kernel still. The build date here is again 7th November. The build maintainer is still Johuab. And the SafetyNet status shows as enforcing right now. Now first things first, if you are wondering about the flashing procedure, let me explain. Now here the recovery I have used is the R11.1_3 Orangefox recovery, and this is the stable build. This is the one that I have used. My storage is right now decrypted. Right now let me tell you, if you are clean flashing this ROM or coming from MIUI, make sure you are coming from the latest 12.5.1 MIUI or whichever is the latest based on your region. So make sure you're coming from that particular MIUI. And if you don't know how to flash the Orangefox recovery when you are in MIUI, you can watch the video from the card or the description. So once you flash the Orangefox recovery, just go here in the wipe section, go to format data and just type yes and hit right. Then your storage will be formatted. Once done, you can go into reboot. Then you can just reboot the recovery once. After that, move the files. If you don't know what files you need to move, let me tell you specifically. So this is the firmware file that we need. This is the 99 MB 12.5.1 MIUI firmware for Rafale in Global or Redmi K20 Pro Indian. And this is the firmware that I have flashed first. So you flash this firmware first. Once you do that, you just click on add to queue. Then you can select the latest EvolutionX ROM, that is this one, and you can select add to queue. And right now you can flash this disable DM verity force encryption if you want your storage to be decrypted just like me. It doesn't ask for any password. So yeah, I just flashed this disable DM verity encrypt or force encrypt. That's how I got the storage decrypted. And right now even on Android 12, my recovery is perfectly working fine. I do not have any issues with the recovery as such over here. So if you're coming from a different ROM, once you are on the latest A11 firmware, make sure you just go to wipe. You just select the Dalvik cache system, vendor and data, just swipe to wipe, then do the same thing as I just told you. After that, it will be rebooted into the system automatically, you should not worry. Right now, let me show you the system panel. This is how it looks like. We of course have the system updated still, and you can check for updates from right here. Let me go back. We have the gestures, and here you get the prevent ringing and the press and hold power button to get the assistant. And we have the system navigation gestures. We get the full screen navigation gestures from here. And if you go into the settings, we have the left edge, right edge customization. We have the swipe to invoke assistant. Let me go back. We have the 2 button and 3 button navigation as well. And here we have the quickly open camera too. So you can double press the power button to get the camera up. And we have the one-handed mode too. And that too is actually working perfectly fine here. Of course, we have the front camera sound effects, and over here you can choose the sound effects and you can disable the camera LED. The stock keyboard here is Gboard. You should not worry about that because this ROM of course includes the G apps. Everything is a lot more improved than the first build, and I did face 2 bugs on the first build. Let me tell you what are those. So first of all, I did face some Wi-Fi related issues, like when I'm still connected to the Wi-Fi network, it will show that I'm connected, but the Wi-Fi simply stops working for anything. I need to then like disconnect the Wi-Fi and reconnect it again. Then it will start working. That bug simply has been fixed right now over here in the latest build. And this quick setting panel was not this white when you are in the white theme in the earlier build, but right now in the dark theme, the quick setting panel background becomes dark just like this. And once you disable the dark theme, as you can see, the quick setting panel background becomes white and it looks beautiful. One more bug that I have faced is that once the display is actually turning off after the screen timeout, then I saw like the front camera is actually popping out for some reason, then going back in, then the screen turns off. That was a huge bug I felt in the first build, but as of right now, that thing simply does not happen, and right now it has been totally fixed. Now let's move on to the stock launcher. Well, we still get the Pixel launcher as the default launcher, and you're seeing these like new widgets of Android 12. And by the way, if you're noticing, I did change the size of it, and as you can see, the color of the widget changed. So the widgets actually depend on the background of the wallpaper. As you can see right now the colors changed again. So this is great that the widgets actually change colors depending on the background of the wallpaper. Shows the weather right here, the date, and if you go to the left, we still have the Google's Discover page. No issues with that, and it has this stretchiness a little bit once you are doing this. So if you swipe up, you get the app drawer and you can search for any particular apps just over here, and it pretty much searches for almost everything, even in Google. So that's great. And you can swipe down anywhere in the home screen. Of course, you get the quick setting panel. This is how it looks like, and you can edit and add multiple toggles that you will want to, and the extra demand stuff, the sync and the other options are there. So you can add pretty much almost everything. And if you tap here, you get the Wi-Fi section and the mobile data and the airplane mode. Also, I would say there is the Wi-Fi and the mobile data toggle separately if you want to add them. And the Bluetooth battery status actually shows up in the status bar. So that is great, not a problem with that. And if you go into the Bluetooth settings, Qualcomm aptX HD audio working perfectly fine here with this. So Bluetooth audio codec should be working just right. And let me tell you that the sound quality for the headphone jack and Bluetooth as well is great. And here in the settings panel, if you go into the sound settings, if you scroll down more, we have the Mi Audio Direct, and from here you can change the sound to this youth edition or something if you want to. Just like this, you can enable it from here, and you can have the hi-fi audio option too. And we also have the screenshots or sound disabling option. And by the way, we have the 3-finger screenshot gesture working perfectly fine here. And there is the capture mode and stuff, and the delete option, edit option, etc. Those are working perfectly fine. I'll show you the customization. But first, let me talk about the animations. Yes, this ROM has beautiful locking and unlocking animations, even with the power button or with the fingerprint scanner. Everything just looks beautiful over here. And even when you are plugging in the device with a charger, that looks simply beautiful. Just notice how cool it looks. Sometimes the fingerprint scanner is not working once I just double tap very quickly, and yeah, sometimes I have noticed that, but as of right now, as you can see, even the fingerprint scanner is working fine. Also with the power button, if you're noticing, just notice how cool it looks once you are pressing the power button. It is a very seamless experience with the animations over here. So in the battery settings, this is how it looks like. We still do not get the current battery capacity, charging cycle, etc. Those things are simply missing, but we do have the battery percentage showing up option, and we have the battery manager, the battery saver, and the battery usage also is there, of course. And we also have the thermal profiles right here, so you can choose per app's thermal profile from here. So that is just great. You can choose these apps to benchmark or something if you want to. And we have the big battery bar, and we have the big font of the battery status. Right now with this Accu battery app, let me show you the battery life that I've got. So I have been on average getting about 6 hours and 28 minutes of screen on time. And while it's idle, it can give you about 40 hours of battery life when it's totally in standby. And we have the combined use of about 16 hours 20 minutes. So that is great that we have a really good battery life. I would say it's decent when the Android 12 is pretty early for the EvolutionX ROM at least. So this is just the second build of the EvolutionX, and we are already getting 6+ hours of screen on time, and that's pretty great because the device is actually very old and I haven't replaced my original battery yet. So enough talk about the battery life. Right now let me talk about the customizations. Well, everything you get inside this evolver settings, and of course the evolver is present from the first build, but here we get a little bit more. Let me show you. In the themes we have the dark theme, and once you enable the dark theme, the background is not completely AMOLED black, but yeah, it's how it is as of right now. I would say in most Android 12 ROMs, the background stays a little bit grayish if you compare it with AMOLED black. Let me go back. We have the status bar settings. Here we have the status bar items, so you can enable the headset, Bluetooth, etc. icons from here. And we have the traffic indicators, so you can enable that. Or I'm using this traffic indicator app, and that is also working perfectly fine. No issues with that. Also we have the battery style. You can change it to icon, portrait, circle, dot, circle, etc. And the battery percentage, you can show it inside the icon or next to the icon. And the show data disabled icon, the VoLTE icon is there, but sometimes I've seen I have to turn it off and turn it back on again. Also you can choose the VoLTE icon from right here to this Asus or MIUI 11 or stuff like that from right here. That is great that we have this option to choose actually right now the VoLTE icons from these many options. And the roaming indicator is also there. Let me go back to the notification. Here we get the heads up disabling option, and in Android 12 I would say heads ups are really annoying, but here this is great that we have heads up disabling option. And the in-call vibration options are there, and the battery light, you can turn or turn off the notification LED on the pop-up camera. Inside quick setting panel, we have the vibrate on toggle touch, and the other settings like the battery estimates right now is present in the quick setting footer. Let me show you. As you can see, it shows until this time. So that's great. Smart pull down is also there, and the animations you can change for the quick toggles. Let me go back in the power menu. We have the advanced reboot. So let me show you the power menu right now. This is how it looks like. You can tap and hold the power button to actually get the power menu, or what you can do is go to the quick setting panel and just tap here and you will get the power menu. And from here, as you can see, we have the advanced option. If you click on advanced, we have the directly rebooting option to recovery or bootloader or the system UI. So this is great that we are already getting all these options like we used to get in Android 11, and we have the gestures and the brightness control is back. So you can just slide a finger on the status bar and that will increase or decrease the brightness, and it is perfectly working fine, as you can see. So no issues whatsoever. And also we have the double tap to sleep on the status bar. That of course does work fine. Let me increase the brightness. Okay, so this thing I have noticed sometimes that I'm using the quick setting panel. This quick setting panel's background becomes this transparent if you're noticing in this notification area. Right now, if I lock the device just like this, and if I unlock it, and right now, as you can see, it's fixed. So this bug I have been noticing on the previous build too, and here also I have been facing this. Maybe it will be fixed in the future updates, of course. And the double tap to lock on the status bar and the lock screen both are there, and the 3-finger screenshot gesture again is working perfectly fine. You can edit, delete, add, and even capture mode if you want to from right here. In the lock screen, we have the fingerprint authentication vibration and error vibration. The music visualizer is there. Of course, there is no always unlock with the fingerprint scanner yet. And in the buttons, we have the system navigation gestures, and the long press power button toggle torch is there, and the volume steps and stuff are there, and we have the MISC settings. So in the MISC, this is great that we are still getting this USB configuration. So you can change it to file transfer, and that is just very, very convenient for me at least. Talking about VoLTE calling, as you can see, the VoLTE calling is working perfectly fine, and this is how the InCallUI looks like. No call recording option as of right now, but yeah, VoLTE calling is working perfectly fine, even via Bluetooth and stuff. No issues with that. In the display settings, we have the brightness level, the adaptive brightness, and inside lock screen, we have the always on display enabling or disabling option. The dark theme you can enable or disable again from here, and the night light also is working. Then the double tap to wake and wake up on plug is there. You can disable that if you want to.
Almost forgot to mention one thing, that in the wallpapers and styles you will get these kind of styles section, and from here of course you can change the wallpapers. You have the bloom option, there you get some flowers. Then we have the living universe or the live wallpapers. You can apply any of them. I'm using a wallpaper from the Wallpy app, so it looks like this, and you can change the accent colors from right here. Enough customization over here, I would say. Even with the basic colors and the wallpaper colors you can choose from. And the dark theme, of course, you can enable or disable from here. You can enable the themed icons, and once you do that, let me show you there in the Chrome icon or the phone icon, if you're noticing. Even this Photos apps icon if you're looking at, and this Chrome app icon, even the Play Store icon and the Google Keep, etc. you can see. So it will depend on the wallpaper. I mean the colors, the centered colors of the apps will depend on the wallpaper. And you can also change the app grids, and without the themed icons, it will look like this. The normal icons.
In the security, we have the fingerprint scanner options. Of course, I have added 2 fingerprints over here. If you go into the settings, we have the quick unlock and the power button instantly locks and stuff. But let me tell you, there is no app lock or the face unlock as of right now. At least for a couple more updates, I think they will be added in the future, but at least for a couple more updates, it won't be there. So as of right now, you need to stick with the fingerprint scanner only. So this is one of the perfect experience that I have ever imagined on the Redmi K20 Pro with Android 12. Right now it shows this kind of icon once you have VoLTE enabled and working, and in the status bar it looks a little bit weird, like both the VoLTE icon and this VO Wi-Fi kind of icon. I'm not really sure what's that. VO Wi-Fi is not enabled as of right now, but yeah, this is how it looks like. Maybe it's 4G kind of enhancement or something. And in the quick toggles, of course, we have these many options like the heads up disabling option and the screen recording, the Android 12 kind of screen recorder. With that you can record the device audio and microphone audio at the same time and stuff. These things are there, and everything is almost very stable experience as of right now. Even the battery life is good. The memory management or the app switching is pretty fast. It's snappy. No issues whatsoever that I have faced. And if you're wondering about the benchmarks, here are the end-to-end Geekbench score with a CPU stress test on this ROM. The SafetyNet passes right out of the box, so you can use banking apps without any issues over here. You do not need to flash Magisk or use Magisk Hide to use banking apps on this ROM. Also, as this is based on Android 11 firmware, the DRM status shows as L1, so you can stream Netflix or Amazon Prime videos in 1080p here. Now, in EvolutionX, I would say yes, there is no stock camera that you will get by default at least. So do not expect any kind of stock camera, but we do have the camera that I have installed. This is the Gcam 8.3, that is working perfectly fine except for the front camera video. With this, everything is working fine, like the night sight and stuff. But let me tell you, if you want to use the front camera video and stuff, you can go with the Gcam Unix version 7.3 version 2.5 kind of camera, and with that, even in video, the front camera should work fine, as you can see. So no issues whatsoever with the cameras. But yeah, you have to install the Gcam separately as of right now. I would say do not flash the InX camera as of now, because there might be a lot of bugs. As you can see, the portrait mode and stuff, everything is working fine with this camera. Also the Gcam Go, this is the version 2.5 of the Gcam Go greatness. Everything is working fine with this Gcam Go 2. But again, you have to install them separately. There is no stock camera that you will get, at least by default here. Also the Google Assistant is working perfectly fine. Let me show you. Okay Google. As you can see, it popped out the Google Assistant, and you can also swipe up from these corners to get the Google Assistant. So as of right now, yes, the EvolutionX is back with Android 12, and this is just great. And I have been daily driving this ROM. I have had no issues whatsoever. Only thing that I miss as of right now again is the MIUI camera or InX camera here. Other than that, we have the double tap to sleep like on the status bar, and the lock screen again looks beautiful once you do not have any notification, just like this. And once you double tap, sometimes I have seen the double tap to wake doesn't work, but as you can see right now it worked. And yeah, it is a very good experience with Android 12, I would say, on the EvolutionX ROM. So give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, share this video with your friends if you want them to know about the latest EvolutionX ROM on the Redmi K20 Pro. But as of right now, as I have tested this ROM, I have had no issues. You can like change the widgets, and you can change the styles of it from these clocks and stuff. You can add even different styles of clocks. This is like by default there. Also we get the, so this is the calculator app of Android 12, and it looks beautiful again. So again, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. This is Tito from K20 signing off for today, and I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Bye bye now.